During that long span between Dragon Ball GT and the Battle of Gods movie, a lot of anime came in and went about trying their best to take the place of Dragon Ball and reinvigorate the manga and anime enthusiast culture that had seen that battle against Boo and said, it doesn't get any better than this, and left. Until GT came out. Then they said, wow, it really didn't get any better than that, and peaced out. But out of the many anime and manga that showed up on the scene, 3 of them were known to have gotten close. They became known as the Big 3: Bleach, Naruto, and One Piece. Considering that I know absolutely nothing about Bleach, you can guess where this is going. Naruto and One Piece. I wanted to know who was stronger, and by I, well, I think you know who I mean. Yes, I have now replaced the original announcer guy. Well, only for the opening, but all the same, I want to see who will win. Naruto versus Luffy. Time to find out. Hey, Madara, bring the popcorn. We're watching pay-per-view tonight. Welcome to the Amagi. Before we begin, only 25% of our viewers are subscribed, so if you're a fan of the video, please like and double check if you are subscribed. And with that out of the way, let's get into the video. Pirates. When you hear this word, what do you think about? And before you say Crunchyroll before they went legit, I ask you to think again. That's right, the rogues of the rivers, thieves of the sea, the ones that were probably a lot like Captain Jack Sparrow and probably were hanged at some point in time. Yup, that's what the world of Naruto thought when suddenly a young man named Monkey D. Luffy and his vessel, the Thousand Sunny, showed up. Everyone had heard the terrible stories about pirates, who they were, and worst of all, what they do. Of course, their definition of pirate and Luffy's definition of pirate were 2 very different interpretations of the word. And that wasn't a very good thing either. Because it just so happened that during the time, Naruto had showed up in the village to visit his old friend Inari. And the word of a pirate crew and their hungry captain had reached his ears. Naruto was Hokage though. There was no way he couldn't match this guy, right? Well, he hadn't met this pirate yet. As the young pirate captain, his eyes and teeth drawn wide in enthusiasm, his brows turned down in determination, wandered through the streets, his large expression was only dampened by the sound of a gurgling stomach. It was then that he stopped into the nearest restaurant. The patrons fled in terror as the happy sea dog sat down by the bar on a stool and asked for whatever the special was. The owner, fearing for his life and his livelihood, obeyed. Bringing the food to the captain, he put it before him, receiving only a thanks for his troubles. Luffy tended not to pay until after he ate, but with a title like pirate tacked on, you'd be forgiven for thinking he might never pay. It was at about this time, halfway through Luffy's meal, that a white-cloaked man stepped in through the saloon doors. I take it you're the pirate I've heard so much about, the blonde man said. Luffy looked back. Yup. Naruto took a deep breath. I'd suggest you leave this village. Now. But we just got here, Luffy said. And you're gonna go back on your boat and sail away before you make me do something I don't want to do. And what's that? Luffy asked. Kick your ass, Naruto said. Luffy burst into laughter. Wait, are you strong? Naruto took off his cloak, displaying the words Hokage on the back. The strongest in the land of fire. Luffy, intrigued by this, decided now was the perfect time to test out his progress on him. After leaving Wano, Luffy was searching for someone strong to try these new techniques out on. So he stood, flip-flops hitting the floor. Walking over, he spoke. Let me try. Naruto sighed. If that's what you want, then by all means, let's step out and begin. Stepping out into the middle of the street, everyone gathered around, hoping to see the Hokage's glorious power put the tiny, self-proclaimed pirate king to bed. As Luffy stood there, Naruto spoke. Ladies first, he said, trying to coax Luffy into an attack. Luffy waved it off. Nah, age before beauty. Naruto's eyes narrowed as a small smile drew across his lips. Launching into battle, his fists clashed with Luffy's arms, driving him back. Luffy let himself get pushed back farther than most would do so as to create distance. Once he pulled his arm back. Gum pistol! He fired his arm forward with amazing speed. Naruto was shocked by this. What kind of Kekai Genkai is this? He demanded to know. It's not a whatever you call it, it's a devil fruit power. You might know it as the gum fruit. Dodging another attack, Naruto spoke. Nope, never heard of it, he said. As Luffy sent out another punch, Naruto grabbed it and used it to pull Luffy in, punching him in the face. Luffy stumbled back. Wow, you're pretty good. You're definitely stronger than a lot of the Marines I've faced. What rank is a Kage? Is that between Admiral and Captain? What, were you born in a barn? Naruto asked. It's the leader of a village. So you're like a mayor or something? You should join my crew. We'll have a lot more fun than whatever stuffy office you're living in. Naruto couldn't lie. This was a tempting offer, especially after remembering the office he spent 2/3 of his life in. But he decided against it. He didn't wish to hurt people. Besides, he worked hard to reach where he was. He wasn't going to throw it away just because some stretchy kid asked him. Pass. Luffy nodded. Okay, how about we take it up a notch then? Stomping his foot, he forced his blood to pump through his body at an increased rate. This is Gear 2nd. Naruto smiled. Seems strong. I take it you're a taijutsu specialist. No ninjutsu? Ninjutsu? Like what the ninjas of Wano country did? Are you from Wano? Luffy asked. Naruto furrowed his brow. This guy was talking nonsense. He shook his head. Well, you showed me a cool new form. Why don't I show you my next form? Then we can stack them up. Naruto proceeded to activate version 1. As his chakra bubbled around him, he spoke. Ready for round 2? The two of them launched into battle. Naruto was amazed by the speed and strength that Luffy was displaying. Despite tapping into some of his tailed beast's power, Luffy, in nothing but his second gear, was keeping up. As Naruto looked on, he could see Luffy breathing heavily as steam seemed to pour from his body. To be honest, Naruto felt like this ability was quite familiar. It was almost similar to the 8 Gates. Seeing the red skin, he considered that it might be. But even still, it probably mattered very little. Naruto continued to fight, and their blows were traded evenly. Wow, you really are strong, Luffy said with a massive smile, daring Naruto to do more than that. Naruto kept up the heat until eventually he decided to see how far this kid could really go. Entering his version 2 cloak, he spoke. What do you think about this form? Luffy's eyes widened. Whoa, you look all gooey. What is that? It's my version 2 chakra cloak. It's a hard shell designed to withstand a lot of power, Naruto said. Ready to run? Luffy shook his head. No, I think I'm about ready to kick it up another gear. Suddenly, Luffy began to blow into his thumb, creating a larger hand. Filling it with armament haki, he spoke. So this form's supposed to be super tough to crack, huh? Well then how about we see how tough it really is? Luffy was ready to attack. Naruto ran at Luffy in an attempt to get there first, but was swatted away by the massive fist. As Naruto stood once more, Luffy changed the arm that he had enlarged to his other. Come on! Naruto ran closer. Luffy tried to smash him again, but Naruto dodged to the side. I got him now, Naruto thought as he rushed in closer. Luffy saw him coming and filled his fist with armament haki and struck as hard and fast as he could. Red Hawk! His fist caught flame as he pushed it into Naruto's face. Naruto went rolling backwards. As he stood, he felt a crack in the shell. Wow, you really did smack me good there, but how about this? Suddenly, Naruto's entire body grew skeletal pieces like that of a fox. Wow, you got your bones on the outside. I bet you and Brook would get along great. Luffy laughed a bit more before pulling it back. Come on, Naruto said as he once more ran at Luffy. Dodging the massive fist a second time, he came around to Luffy, who tried to hit him with a red hawk. Naruto caught it though. That won't work twice, he said before getting kicked in the face by a flaming foot. As Naruto rolled back, he realized that the shell, which had only cracked before, was now falling apart. Well, I'll give it to this third gear thing of yours, it's pretty tough. But what if I went up a gear? Naruto would power up further until he would suddenly take on the form of a golden cloak covering his skin. Oh, you're going up a transformation? Let me, Luffy said. Naruto was shocked. You have another transformation? Luffy smiled. Yep, surprised. Naruto's surprise faded into a smile. You know what? No, I'm not. You go right ahead. Luffy then blows up more of his body, entering Gear 4th's Bound Man form. Put on a little weight there, didn't ya? Naruto said. Luffy laughed. I can slim down if you want. Naruto shook his head. Nah, this makes you an easy target. Naruto activated Sage Mode alongside his Kurama Chakra Mode to help him against this powerful ability. Luffy's bouncy body boings about as he moves. Suddenly, he rushes Naruto with a speed so fast that Naruto can hardly believe it. As Luffy bounces around him, he's hit quite a bit by many of Luffy's attacks. His Bound Man form is attempting to bounce Naruto around the same way Gaara was bounced around by Lee. With every passing moment, Naruto can't help but be reminded of Lee in this battle, and wonders how well Lee would do against this. He catches himself midair. Wind style, Rasen Shuriken, Naruto shouts. He forms a massive shuriken out of a Rasengan and throws it down at Luffy, who tries to knock it away. This succeeds, of course, but Luffy is surprised to find that the Rasen Shuriken's wind release was able to cut through his armament haki. "You're really strong," Luffy said. "Sadly, I don't think being a big tank is going to help much against you. I gotta get faster." And so, Luffy redistributes his mass, taking on the Snake Man form. This form lowers his defense, but in exchange, his speed and agility, which were already phenomenal, are expanded quite a bit. Now he was speeding as fast as one could imagine, bouncing around so quickly that Naruto could no longer keep up. That's when Naruto broke glass in case of emergency and awakened his six-path Sage mode. With this, he gained staves and Truth-Seeker orbs. With them, he was able to keep up with Luffy despite his form, knocking him back to the ground. "No fair, you already jumped forms? I didn't even get to show off my Snake Man form that much." Naruto was just hovering there. "And you can fly now? No fair." Luffy took a deep breath. "Fine, if you're going all out, so am I." Luffy began to concentrate, forcing his heart to beat in the form of the drums of liberation. As they did, he was suddenly overcome with a white color, as if he were being clothed in clouds. As he did this, he let out a laugh. From this, the entire area around him took on a rubbery elasticity, to which he would use to his advantage. Naruto was amazed, but he couldn't let himself be fazed. He decided to take the first attack. As he punched Luffy in the face, though, he found Luffy's head extending back along with his neck, as his face began to absorb the strike quite easily. Luffy didn't even really need to defend, as his body just absorbed the blows. If you've ever watched SpongeBob and saw how SpongeBob dealt with Flats the Flounder who just wanted to kick his butt, well, this is what Luffy was doing with Naruto now. Naruto kept striking out, and he was amazed by this. Stepping back, he formed a Rasengan. "Try this then," he said. Luffy would see Naruto rushing in and would grab the ground, slinging Naruto up into the air as if whipping the sheets on a bed. As Naruto began to fall, Luffy caught him with his fist. Naruto was knocked so far back that he landed in the ocean. "Do it, Kurama," Naruto said. Suddenly, the chakra avatar of Kurama appeared out of the water. Luffy rushed toward the sea without hesitation. "Gum Gum Giant!" he shouted. Luffy expanded his size even further until he was about analogous to the size of Kurama. There he began to grapple with the Ninetales, flipping it over his shoulder and slamming it into the ocean. As Kurama stood, he formed a tailed beast ball and prepared to launch it into Luffy, but Luffy punched the snout of the Ninetales and sent the orb flying into the sea behind him. They fought a bit more until they both noticed that they were standing on dry land. "Where did the ocean go?" Naruto asked. It was then that Luffy understood. "Ah, tsunami!" he said. As the massive wall of water was coming in, Luffy looked behind him at the scared village and knew what he needed to do. He stood on one side of the village and lifted the ground by causing it to become stretchy. He looked to Kurama. "Lift your side!" he shouted. Kurama lifted it up. The wall of water came in and both Naruto and Luffy braced. As soon as the wave hit, it bounced back, causing it to flood over the side. There was some damage to the wharf, but the village was all in all okay. Luffy, though, seemed tired. Returning to his normal size, he dropped down to the ground where they'd been fighting. Naruto followed. Luffy hit his base form, but fatigue overtook him to the point that he appeared to be an old man. "Whoa, are you okay?" Naruto asked. "Just tired." He fell over. The Straw Hats appeared and lifted him up. "Who are you?" Naruto asked. "We're his crew," Zoro said. Naruto watched as Sanji lifted him up, Chopper already tending to his wounds. "What kind of pirates save a village?" Naruto asked. "The kind who aren't evil, that's who," Sanji said. Naruto was shocked. "Wait, what kind of pirates are you anyway?" Luffy looked up. "The kind that adventure on the sea and make friends instead of killing everyone." Naruto suddenly realized his mistake, especially when he looked into the shop and saw that Luffy, just before the battle, had paid for his meal he never finished. "Seems like we had a misunderstanding as to what type of pirate you were. My apologies," he said. Feeling bad about the trouble he caused these people, he decided to use some of the money he was allotted to pay for the supplies their ship needed. In the end, Luffy and Naruto made friends, and as the Thousand Sunny pulled away from port, Luffy waved back. "I hope to see you again someday." Naruto waved as well. "Likewise." Fu watched as this came to an end. "You know, Naruto has moon-busting feats," he said. Madara nodded. "Considering that he and Sasuke together utilized Chibaku Tensei to create a new moon in another dimension, it only makes sense. They say Nika, the one after which Luffy's human fruit gets its name type, was called a sun god. So maybe these two balance out," Fu said. "Still doesn't satisfy the scale," Madara said. "Well, the reason being is that Luffy possesses Toon Force the moment he enters that form. and Toon Force moves by a rule of cool variant, more like rule of gag. He just doesn't pay attention to scale anymore because it's funny. Not that he ever did. I recall many times watching Luffy face off against Goku, who surpassed Moonbuster a long time ago. If you take that for canon, that makes Luffy able to face off against a multi-planet buster to a galaxy buster at the time it happened. That is, if you consider it canon. What do you mean, canon? Madara said. You wouldn't get it, Fu said, but they do. With this, he pointed toward the camera, something Madara apparently couldn't see. Anyway, I'm satisfied with these results. It means I need to do more studying on counters to Toon Force. That should be helpful in the future, should any gag manga characters decide to show up. I'm looking at you, Saitama. You can beat Goku, but only because it's funny. By this time, Madara was leaving the room. He was being left out of some massive joke, and Fu wasn't explaining anything. Just let me know if something interesting happens. Sure will, good buddy. And you, behind that screen, be sure to like and subscribe, and let me know in the comments what the next experiment should be. And while you're at it, be sure to check out my other great experiments too. Now, if you'll excuse me, I gotta go untie Keegan. Bye-bye.